와.
B형은 턱이 B네 B. 나는 항상 동그래가지고.
Have you ever watched a clip that was supposed to be completely ordinary, and then suddenly found yourself staring at the screen, replaying the same 5 seconds over and over again? Because that is exactly what happened when the behind-the-scenes footage from Merry-Go-Round dropped. Nobody expected it. Nobody was ready for it. And honestly, you guys. ARMY completely lost their minds. The footage begins so innocently. The set feels warm and almost magical, wrapped in soft lighting that makes everything look like a memory rather than reality. Staff members move quietly through the background. Cameras glide across the room. Laughter drifts through the air. There is no dramatic music. No huge announcement. No sign that something unforgettable is about to happen. But then Taehyung appears. And somehow, everything changes. You know those moments when a room feels different the second someone walks into it? That was the energy. It wasn't loud. It wasn't obvious. It was something much more powerful. Taehyung looked completely relaxed. His movements were effortless. His smile appeared for just a second before fading into that calm expression that only he seems capable of creating. There was something cinematic about him without even trying. And while everyone else was focused on filming, the camera caught Jungkook. At first, it seemed like nothing. Just a glance. A normal glance. The kind of glance people exchange every day. But then it lasted another second. And another. And another. And suddenly fans everywhere were asking the exact same question. Wait, is he still looking? Yes. Yes, he was. And that wasn't even the moment that shocked everyone. Because the longer you watched, the more details began to appear. The tiny changes in Jungkook's expression. The softness in his eyes. The way his attention seemed completely locked onto Taehyung without him even realizing it. It felt unguarded. Natural. Real. Like the cameras had accidentally captured a private thought. Can we talk about how rare that is? Because idols spend years learning how to perform in front of cameras. Every movement is observed. Every facial expression is analyzed. Yet this moment felt different. There was no performance. No awareness. Just Jungkook existing in the moment. And somehow that made it even more powerful. You could almost feel the atmosphere through the screen. The gentle hum of activity around them. The bright studio lights reflecting off the set. The distant conversations happening somewhere behind the cameras. Everything continued moving. Everything continued normally. But Jungkook's gaze remained exactly where fans noticed it. And honestly, how does he even do that? How does someone turn a simple look into something that leaves millions of people speechless? That's the thing about Jungkook. His most memorable moments are often the quietest ones. Not the performances. Not the awards. Not the headlines. The tiny moments. The human moments. The moments that slip through the cracks. And this felt like one of them. As the footage continued, Taehyung moved naturally around the set, interacting with people, preparing for filming, completely immersed in the creative process. Meanwhile, fans couldn't stop watching Jungkook. Every replay revealed something new. A subtle smile. A brief pause. A tiny shift in posture. Nothing dramatic. Yet somehow impossible to ignore. And just when you think that's all there is, something else happens. The energy between them becomes even more noticeable. Not because of anything they say, but because of what they don't say. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Sometimes a glance tells a bigger story than an entire conversation. And ARMY knows that better than anyone. You guys have spent years watching these members grow together. Years witnessing friendships evolve. Years noticing the smallest details that casual viewers might miss. So when this behind-the-scenes clip appeared, fans immediately recognized that familiar warmth. That comfort. That connection. The kind of connection that cannot be scripted. The kind that comes from years of shared memories, shared struggles, shared victories, and countless moments spent side by side. And honestly, that's what makes the footage so emotional. It isn't just about Jungkook looking at Taehyung. It's about everything that look represents. Trust. Familiarity. Comfort. History. The feeling of being around someone who has been part of your journey for so long that their presence becomes second nature. As the cameras continued rolling, the atmosphere on set felt almost dreamlike. The lights shimmered softly. The production crew prepared for the next shot. The members moved naturally through the space. Yet fans couldn't shake the feeling that they had witnessed something special. Something genuine. Something that wasn't supposed to be the focus of the footage at all. And isn't that always how the most unforgettable moments happen? Not during the scenes everyone expects. Not during the biggest performances. Not during the carefully planned highlights. But during the in-between moments. The moments nobody sees coming. The moments that reveal something real. As more fans watched the clip, social media exploded with reactions. People shared screenshots. Slow-motion edits appeared everywhere. Comments poured in from every corner of the fandom. Some couldn't stop talking about Jungkook's expression. Others focused on Taehyung's effortless presence. And many simply admitted they had replayed the clip far more times than they wanted to confess. Because once you notice it, you can't unsee it. And that's where the real magic begins. Every rewatch feels different. Every replay reveals another tiny detail. Another subtle expression. Another fraction of a second that somehow feels meaningful. The footage becomes less about what happened and more about how it felt. And what it felt like was warmth. Pure warmth. The kind that spreads through your chest before you even realize it. The kind that reminds you why these moments matter so much. Because beneath the global fame, the sold-out stadiums, the flashing cameras, and the endless headlines, there are still these small human moments. Quiet moments. Honest moments. Moments where everything feels real. And somewhere in the middle of the soft lighting, the laughter, the movement of the set, and the magic of merry-go-round, the camera captured one of those moments. A moment so simple that it could have easily gone unnoticed. A moment so brief that it lasted only seconds. Yet somehow, it became the moment nobody could stop talking about. And as the behind-the-scenes footage continued playing, with the atmosphere glowing softly around them and the set coming alive with creative energy, it felt like there was still something more hidden within those seconds. Something fans would continue discovering every time they pressed replay.